Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. So here we are in our session number 197 of Quranic Arabic grammar, in which we are doing Nahw and Sarf of Surah Taha. So, inshallah, we are going to start with the verse that we were doing in our last session, and this was verse number 115. And we have covered the first half of the verse, and we were learning about Walam Najid lahu Azma. So, Wajada Yajidu reminds you of what kind of af'al? Yaqeen. So now when you have a felu yaqeen, what do you have to think about it? That this felu yaqeen, if you are looking at najid in that sense, you must keep in mind that it is going to take two mafuls. Other than that, what was another thing that I want you to remember? What do you think is something I have been emphasizing, that this is these are af'al that enter on these type of sentences, if you want to, yeah. So they are afalun nasikha, and they enter in jumla ismiya, and they make mubtada maful bihi awwal and maful bihi thanin. Okay, so this is how you have learned it, right, so far? Everyone with me? Okay. Now when you have najid lahu, and now when you look at this one, now where is the maful bihi awwal for najid? What are you going to now call maful bihi awwal in this very verse? Okay. Okay, now I want no, Afsha, don't call nahnu as maful bihi awwal, because that is your damir mustatir and your fail. That has nothing to do with that, right? That's a doer of the fail, right? It's your doer, so keep it as a doer, and let's work on only this part. Can somebody change this part into a jumla ismiya? Now forget about everything. I want this part, lahu azman, made into jumla ismiya. Can anyone make it a jumla ismiya? And I'm going to see now, and I'm going to be able to judge how your grammar skills are. This is going to give me an idea. Okay, who's going to do that? It's very easy. Yes, yes. So lahu, no, what was that? Need to change the status of Azman. Very good job. So what is going to be the status of Azman? Change it then. Rafa, very well done. So if I call it lahu azmun, is it a jumla ismiya? And can you treat it as, and can you translate it as, he has a resolve? He has determination, right? He is, or just for a running translation, you can also say that he is determined, something like that, right? And it will make complete sense. Everyone agrees? What about the rest of the sisters? Afshan, Rabiha, are you with me? Faiza? Okay. So now, when you have lahu azmun, and you have azmun, now put i'rab of lahu and azmun. What is going to be the i'rab for lahu? Mutalik bil khabar mahzoof, huh? Mutalik bi khabar mahzoof. And what will be the i'rab for azmun? Mubtada muakhar, right? Is this you are telling me now, right? And I'm going to take your word for that. Now what is going to be, if now you have your mubtada is mubtada muakhar azmun? Now tell me, if you have to enter najid in that very sentence, what will be your maf'ul bihi awwal? Azmun. Very good job. What can be the possible i'rab for lahu now? This was, if it was mutalik bil khabar, can you call it muta'alliq bi maf'ul bihi thanin? Can it be correct to call it muta'alliq bil maf'ul bihi thanin? Right? So, my dear sisters, there are tons of verses. There are so many verses in Quran that you now have to, since now you know what af'alu tasveer are, what af'alu yaqeen are, what af'alu rujhan are, and how do they enter any jumla ismiya and they change the i'rab. You have to go about all these verses like this. You are going to call, just think about it, whatever is coming after wajada yajidu, just like this. Lahu azmun. Can you see my document, my Google Doc? Alhamdulillah. So what did I write? I called it mutalik bil khabar. I made azmun into mubtada. And then the same mubtada, because my mubtada is my maful bihi awwal. Because the thing is, when you can see the Arab book, your Arab books have all the Arabs there for you guys, right? To enjoy and to understand and to learn. But how do you, does it not confuse you that why azman is maful bihi awwal? Isn't it something confusing? Or when they write it that, muta'alliq bil maful bihi sanin, something is muta'alliq bil maful bihi sanin. Isn't it confusing that, if you would have seen that at that time when you did not learn those afal the way you have learned them now, and have understood them now, it would have been hard for you. So because I have gone over this verse with you guys, and I just rushed over this verse because this verse is also from Surah Taha, if you remember, waj'alli waziram min ahli. If I ask you to do the i'rab the same way, considering ja'ala is from dhanna wa akhawatuha, it is af'alun nasikha, it is fail tam, it is maful mutadilain. So it is a fail that can take two maful bihis. Then how will you now label waziran? What will be waziran maful bihi awwal, and li is going to be your متعلق بمحذوف مفعول به ثانٍ. And everyone, I want everyone, because this is not the only time that you are seeing this, my dear sisters. Ja'ala is a fail very, very commonly used in Quran. Among the three types of ja'ala that you have learned with me, this type that belongs to zanna wa akhwatuha is the most common type that you are going to come across in Quran. So for that, how to give the correct i'rab of of this fail and the words containing this fail, it is very important that you go through this drill and understand. Okay, I hope this is now clear, alhamdulillah. So let's just go and do a couple of more verses. So now when I give you this one, la taj'alna fitnatan lil qawmi zalimin. So is this clear that this na is going to be what? How will you label na? No problem. This is maf'ul bihi awwal, and then fitna is your maf'ul bihi thanin, right? This is clear. There's no ambiguity there. Similarly, waj'alna, here, na is again maf'ul bihi awwal, muslimaini maf'ul bihi thanin. Okay, but that one was an easy one. But when there is something that comes after ja'ala as jar wal majroor, for that you are going to use this drill. Okay, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, now let's come back to our verses and continue what we were doing. So now this najid is not like I found a book. It is just like, you know, did not find in terms of, I did not find that article very useful, that kind of a meaning it will have. It is, just how I have labeled it here, muta'alliq. You can, muta'alliq bil maf'ul bihi sanin, mahzoof. Okay? Just like your khabar is muta'alliq bil khabar mahzoof, I should put here mahzoof as well. Okay? Muta'alliq bil maf'ul bihi sanin, mahzoof. Okay? Is this clear now? Alhamdulillah. Okay, let's. Yes, just like in, because do you see it anywhere? Just, because every time when you have muta'alliq bil khabar, you are, if there is no khabar there, if you, I just give you this one, is there any khabar? Is there any khabar in this one? Lahu azmun. Is there any khabar for here? You have lahu jar wal majroor muta'alliq bil khabar, azmun mubtada muakhar. So khabar is mahzoof, and you call lahu as muta'alliq bi khabar mahzoof, right? The complete name is muta'alliq bil khabar mahzoof. Similarly, you are going to call this thing when you are lahu azman, or lahu in this part, lahu as muta'alliq bil maf'ul bihi sanin mahzoof. Okay? Because just like your khabar was mahzoof, because you just think about it, just like you think about zanna wa akhawatuha, when you are inshallah, when you have some time and you are going to go through your slides, you are going to find in your slides everything like that, that your mubtada is maf'ul bihi awwal, your khabar is maf'ul bihi sanin. If your, this is not there, if there is muta'alliq bil khabar, now you are going to, you just call whatever is there as muta'alliq, bi maf'ul bihi sanin. Okay, mahzoof. Clear? Alhamdulillah. So now let's go to verse number 116 then. Okay. So here we are starting a new, no, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about Adam alayhi salam, and we are looking at the story of Adam alayhi salam, and we saw that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took a promise and he forgot, and he did not find in him the determination. And then what happened? So, and vow, yeah, you can say that the vow can be isti'na, and is beginning a new incident now. Now the story is, the topic is shifted towards malaika. Basically, the center of discussion is malaika. Is going to be, how many types of is are there? Just real quick, is can be harfiya, is can be ismiya, is al harfiya can be fujaiya, right? Is al harfiya can be fujaiya, and the other type is ta'liliya, right? Is ta'liliya, right? And then did we was it that was it is tafsiriya, is this tafsiriya, or it was iza tafsiriya? Which one did we learn as iza tafsiriya, as tafsiriya? Was it is or iza? For is we have learned two types mainly. So is it yeah, for it was for iza. So when we come to is, it is divided into two types: is al-ismiya, is al-harfiya. So I started with the harfiya because the list is short. So harf lil mufaja'a or fujaiya, iza fujaiya, or you can see it as harf ta'lil. The is al-ismiya is of six types. It can be a noun that denotes past tense in the meaning of hina. It can be a noun that denotes future tense, same in the meaning of hina. It can be maf'ul bihi in the meaning of waqtan. It can come up as badal from maf'ul bihi when maf'ul bihi is already mentioned. It can be mudaf ilayhi, right? We have seen ba'da is hadaytana. Is can be munawwanan. Have we recently seen is munawwanan? Absolutely, we have seen in Yoma Izin, right? Alhamdulillah. And Sister Faisa has mentioned this is seems to be is, which is maful bihi. Is that what you're trying to tell me? I think I saw your maful bihi for fele mahzuf, right? Alhamdulillah, that's correct. What helped us determine that this is that is maful bihi li fele mahzuf uskuru? What helped us determine? There is a um, giveaway. Yes, uskuru or uskuru is the fail mahzuf. But how do we know that this is maful bihi for uskuru? First of all, you cannot connect it to whatever is before. Number two, it is in the beginning of the sentence. Number three, are we seeing a story after it? Are we seeing a incident after it? All these are true answers, right? So for that, you are going to see is in the beginning. In the beginning, number one. In the beginning, number one. Number two, there is no fail that you can connect it to because anyways there is bow before it. Number three, it is after it is coming an event, right? Whenever you see is preceding an event of the past, the is that you need to think about is number three, maful bihi bimani waqtan li fele mahzoof uzkuru. Everyone got it? When you have is, the next thing that you look for is that it is not only maful bihi now, it is also a mudaf, right? It is mudaf and it is going to have its mudaf ilayhi after it. Since it is mabni, barakallahu fiki, now that you have learned that it is mabni, so its mudaf ilayhi only can be a sentence. And do we see a sentence after it? Absolutely, we are seeing a sentence. Qulna lil malaikati. So this is mudaf ilayhi for is, which is mudaf. Qulna, if I asked you the status of this sentence that is coming after, is it is going to be jar, right? Because it is fi mahalli jarrin, because it is mudaf ilayhi. Then comes kulna. Kulna is my fail, wal fa'il, naul fa'ilin. And lil malaikati is going to be jar wal majroor, muta'alliq bil fail. After qala yakulu, I usually see, or we all see mostly, makulul qawl. And the makulul qawl here is going to be usjudu li Adam, right? And it is going to be, the sentence is going to be fi mahalli nasbin. And in this sentence, when we go in, we see filul amr, usjudu. Every fail has a file. And here the file is Wawil Jama'a coming after the third root letter. Alif is Litafriq, mainly seen and written after Wawil Jama'a. In our Usmani script, we do find Alifut Tafriq after Waw Asliya as well. And we have seen those examples like word Yatlu. And yes, the um, when you have this yad'u after it, you do see, and that waw is asliya, not wawil jama'a, not the waw of plural. However, it is a root letter waw, but that alif then is considered to be alif zaida li daruratil khat. Alif zaida li daruratil khat. Okay, so now comes li adama. Yeah, it is because it is the part of Usmani script. It is the part of Usmani script. It is not part of Arabic writing, but it is a part of Quranic writing. If you go on our short series, you will find a lecture on Aliful Farqa. Okay, so that is going to be, clarify a lot of things. Yeah. Li Adama jar wal majroor, and this is going to be, it is majroor بالفتحة لأنه ممنوع من الصرف للعلمية والعجمية, right? Because the word is alam, ism alam, and number two reason for it to be partly flexible is that it is a name, right? First of all, it is a name, and then it is a foreign name. That is why it cannot take a kasra. Everyone got it? Fasajadu, fa is going to be, but how should we, they you want to call it atf, okay, that sounds right. Sajadu is going to be your, yeah, can be fasiha too, yeah. But it seems right, when this event happened, all the people who were obedient to Allah immediately did that. So this was commanded to them, then there was no other discussion. They did not have any apprehension or hesitation to follow the command. And that is why they are who they are, and Iblis got separated from the rest of them because of the you know immediacy that they showed to in submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So sajadu fail madin wal fa'il wawil jama'a, illa is harf istasna, and iblisa is your mustasna, and aba is going to be, how will you connect aba to whatever has been mentioned before? Aba means he refused. So they prostrated except Iblis. So he did not. So this is a hal. You can call it hal. Barakallahu fiki. Yes, it is a hal for who? Wawil Jama'a or Iblisa? Iblis. Very well done. Because, it is talking about one single person. It is fail madin. Mabni al fatatul muqaddara al alif. And the file here is Damir mustatir hua. So my jumlatul haliya has a pronoun that goes back to one person, right? And that is Iblis. And the action and the pronoun, you know, it matches. So this is something we are going to inshallah do in our next sessions. So I will, we will talk about it mustasna as a, I just for now I'm going to just tell you that when you have mustasna, mainly in especially when it is in the positive sentence, you are going to see it in nasb status. Okay, if that helps. But inshallah we are going to get into the details of it. Okay, now my verse number 117 is an easy one, inshallah, for all of you. Fakulna, then we said, ya Adamu. So fa, okay, this is Rina and Faiza are saying that this is atf. Okay, kulna, fail, wal file naul filein, fail madin, barakallahu fiki, and then comes your makulul qawl, right? And the status of your makulul qawl is going to be fi mahalli nasbin. When you come into your makulul qawl, you have ya Adamu. Ya Adamu, is it a full sentence? Jumla failure, and this is jumlatun nida, right? With harf ya Adamu, right? And ya is replacing unadi or fail yunadi. I call Adam or he calls Adam, right? And it is your Adamu is flexible or non-flexible? What do you think? Now that we are in our 197th session, and we are reaching our 200th session very, very soon, it is non-flexible, barakallahu fiki, because its status should be nasb, but because it is ism alam, and it is going to be a mufrad, ism alam mufrad, therefore it is going to be mabni ala dam. Munada is going to be mabni ala dam, and we have been seeing it throughout the Quran. We have been learning it from the very beginning, from our Psalm 1. Sorry. Okay, so after Jumlatun Nida, we have Jawabun Nida, and your Jawabun Nida here is Inna Haza Aduwullak. Uduwullak. Inna Haza harf nasab wa ismuha. Uduwun is the khabar of inna, right? And can be connected with luck as complex mawsuf sifa, and how you can call mutalik bi mahzuf sifa. And wow is your harf atf, right? Everyone li zawjik is matuf ala luck, right? Everyone got this one as well? That, and you have understood it the same way as I'm saying. And ka is majroor bil idafa, right? Because there is idafa between zawj and ka. Then comes your fa, fala yukhrijannakuma. Now think about it. He, indeed this, or indeed he is enemy for you and for your wife. Fala yukhrijannakuma. So this fa, can you um then don't let him um, uh, make you exit from the Jannah. So can this be, if it was talil, for what reason? So that, if I translate it as so that or because, will it make sense? For fa'u talil, usually I can, translate it as but or because he should not let you or he should not remove you from the paradise. Okay, so some are calling it sababiya. So what about Sister Faiza is very much in love with Paul Fasiha. Every time she has to call some of the fas as Paul Fasiha. So now I don't know why today she did not say that. I was very dismayed that she did not say that, because every every session there are 4 or 5 foul fasihas that she finds, and she has a point. She usually gets them right too. I'm not making fun or anything. Yeah, yeah, don't look at la yet, look at focus on yeah, and yeah, look at that too. But yeah, so my dear sisters, if I say that this was in araftuma um um adawatahu fala yukhrijannakuma. If you recognize his animosity, then don't let him remove you from Jannah. Make sense? Right? So that is what the scholars think, is there's a shart there that has been omitted from there, and this pa is Pau Rabita, or which it is basically Pau Rabita for Jawabu Shart, and your Jumla to Shart has been omitted from here, because Paul Fasiha actually is doing this job of hiding a sentence before it. If it could be Jumla to Sharti as well, right? Make sense? So in Araftuma, if you too recognize Adawatuhu, his animosity, then do not let him remove you from paradise. So this fa is Faul Fasiha or Faul Rabita li Jawabu Shart, right? And La Yukhrijannakuma. If I ask you what's the status of what is coming after this fa, what will be the status of this verse then? Sister Rabiha, every time when there are, a rapid succession, or, जब एक बात से ऐसे लगे कि हम A से Z की तरफ जा रहे हैं, instead of coming from A to B, think about foul fasiha. Think about foul fasiha. When you have, you know, a fa that is making you connect a dot from A to B, and then taking you to event number C, think about faulat. Okay? Does it make sense? And all those meanings can be, yeah, it can be, in atf itself as well. Sometimes, you will see that there is some meaning of sabab, some meaning of fasaha is there sometimes. Okay, you will find that, and inshallah, as we do more and more, we'll come to know about it more and more, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open the doors of wisdom for us, inshallah, and understanding and the knowledge that is beneficial, inshallah. So la, um So if it is, think about it, the shart, what I was saying, that if it is fasiha or fa rabita, if it is fa rabita for jawabu shart, for jawabu shart, that and the shart is mahzuf in araftuma, if it is the sentence, it is a jawab for that, then it's going to be the fa can be labeled as fa rabita, and then the sentence after it is going to be fi muhalli jazmin if I'm considering in araftuma my jumlatu shartiya. Okay. So basically, you will see Paul Fasiha. Some will be calling Paul Fasiha using this term for Paul Fasiha, and some will be just naming only and only Paul Fasiha, um, that is hiding a jumla to shart after it, in it. Okay. However, you will find that other scholars will call Faul fasiha any fa that has a sentence before it, and it could be any sentence. It does not have to be jumla tu shartiya. Okay, that is also something, I have was learning from a teacher from Umul Qura University and in Makkah, and he taught us that faul fasiha is the fa that has jumla tu shart mahzoof there. There is a jumla to shart that this fa is hiding. But then when I went on to learn some more, other teachers have another point of view. So you have to, be clear about that. That most of the people will say that it could only be, jumla to shartiya hiding in faul fasiha, or it could be any sentence. It can be other sentences as well. And I hope that you will now, from now on, everyone is going to think about Faul Fasiha. If my story goes from A to L or A to M very quickly, and I think that B is missing, C is missing, D is missing, that should make me think about Faul Fasiha. Okay, so yukhrijanna la, what kind of la is there? La, which is followed by nunu tokid, is going to be la nahiya, right? So yukhrijanna, yukhrijanna. Now fail is, what's the status of my fail mudare? What is the status? First of all, I need to know the status of my fail mudare. After la nahiya, the status is always majzoom. Now my fail mudare is mabni or muarrab. Beautiful job. Absolutely, it is going to be mabni. And every time when my last root letter has a fatha, also, not only because of nunu sakila, every time when my mudare is ending with a fatha, it is mabni in that case. Okay. When it is ending with dhamma, we will talk about it in our later sessions. Okay. Will you remember this point? Is it clear to all of you that this is mabni? And we are going to consider it mabni every time my fail is ending with a fatha. I have added this information for you guys as well because I just don't want you to be confused later on. So this little bit piece of information, you will find it on my slide. When the third letter in the fail ends with fatha, when the third letter ends with fatha, then it is mabni al fatha. Okay. So now come back, and now nunu sakila is a harf. Does it have any status? It does not have any status. It is la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. Its purpose is for tawheed. Kuma is going to be, what is kuma? It is maful bihi. Kaf is going to be my damir muttasil, maful bihi, fi mahalli nasbin, and ma is litasniya. Remember the type of ma, and is this a harf or an ism? This type of ma. Among the different types of ma that you have learned in this course, this belongs to the harf category, right? Min al jannati is going to be jar wal majroor mutaalliq bil khabar. Now comes another fa, and I hope we don't have to spend a lot of time on this fa. Fatashqa. Uh, okay, let's see the meaning and if that helps. Now think about this one. Don't let him remove you from the paradise, otherwise you will suffer. Does it make sense? This translation makes sense or no? Is this a correct translation? ना तुम उसे निकालने देना, तुम ना वो निकाल पाए तुम दोनों को जन्नत से, वरना वरना तुम सफर करोगे या तुम पछताओगे, या मतलब यू विल बी इन लॉस, राइट? सो जो फा is translated in as varna, or has you know in that case, or as a result, fa is make you think about this. As a result, fa should make you think about paus sababiya. Otherwise you would suffer should make you think about paus sababiya. Okay, paus sababiya is preceded by, the condition for it is preceded by this, any one of this. It could be al-amr, al-nahi, al-istifham, at-tamanna, at-tamanni, at-taraji, al-ard, wa tahdeed. Do you find anything here that qualifies it to be paus sababiya? Yes, there is nahi there, la nahiya was there. So this is your paus sababiya. And tashqa is going to be, if the fa is sababiya, what will be the status of mudari after it? It's going to be mansoob bil fatatul muqaddara. And the file in this fail tashqa is going to be damir mustatir anta, right? Barakallahu fiki, my dear sisters. So this is clear, I hope, so far. I hope that was not too hard. Now, let's continue. Inna laka. Inna. What is this inna doing here? It is harf nasb, nasikh, mushabba bil fail. And after this, what do I look for? I look for its ism. Do you find its ism here? It is masdar. An masdariya is there. That is going to be its ism. And so its ism is al-masdarul mu'awwal, right? Where is an-masdariya? Where is an-masdariya? If masdarul mu'awwal, if an-masdarul mu'awwal, yes. Allah is actually an and la, an and la, and an is making taju'a, right? Taju'a, fail mudare, mansoob, bil fatatu zahira is because of an. And la in between is, I was going to ask this question, that between two grammatically related structures, this la is going to be la mutarida, ghayr amila again. Tajua is followed by jar wal majroor fiha. I'm going to label it as mutalik bil fi'l. Wala, waw, harf atf, la, nafiya, ta'ara. What will be the status of ta'ara? It is going to be mansoob. And why? What is making it mansoob, my dear sisters? Atf. Very well done, Zarina. I'm very proud of you. Can this la be la zaida li tokidin nafi? How many of you are calling it la zaida li tokidin nafi? So when I taught you la zaida li tokidin nafi, one important point that I was teaching you was, it is always followed by kalam ghair tam. It has to be the whatever comes after la zaida li tokidin nafi must be either a mufrad ism or a shubu jumla. Is ta'ara jumlatul failya or is it a mufrad ism, or is it a shubu jumla? I'm very proud of myself. I tricked you all. Most of you, I should say, other than Afshan. Afshan was able to tell that this is not that la zaida li tokidin nafi, right? I think so. Yeah. So there was a jumlatul failure after it. So that is why I'm not going to. And my dear sisters, you may find Arab books calling this la zaida li tokidin nafi. For them, every time la is there, after one la is there, so they all call every la zaida li tokidin nafi. But according to grammatical definition, this is, how you have to learn it. Okay, this slide is going to come very handy if you, and I keep on inserting the slides back many times and show you these slides many times, just so that everything is, every concept gets solidified. Okay, inshallah. So now you have inna, and its ism is Allah tajua fiha, and wala ta'ara is matuf ala tajua, and then comes your laka after inna. What are the two fragments that can come between harf nasb wa ismuha? One is the jar wal majroor, and the other one is zarf, and this is jar wal majroor. This lies, you can just label it as la nafiya ghair amila. Okay, so for this, just la nafiya, plain la nafiya, which has no, it is ghair amila, has no action. Okay, just label it like that. Then comes wa annaka la tazma'u fiha wa la tadha. So now we are going to say this vow is at annaka. Annaka harf nasb wa ismuha. After it, you are going to look for khabru anna, and khabru anna in this case is la tazma'u, which is jumlatul failya, and la nafiya ghair amila tazma'u is going to be your fail mudare marfu bidammatu zahira, and yeah, here again damir is damir mustatir anta, right? fiha jar wal majrur mutalik bil fail, waw harf atf, la nafiya ghair amila tadha, again status of fail is marfu bidammatul muqaddara ala al alif, damir mustatir anta, right? We are going to come to this inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so annaka, now you have a wow here too, right? Right, we have a wow here. So now let's learn this real quick. So when you have a wow, there is harf atf. What is going to be, how are you going to treat this whole chunk? Is it a, is it going to be treated as, for, let's just, though it's a sentence, but sentence starting with anna, should it be treated like mufradism, masdarul muawwal, or as a jumla? Anna, anna makes masdarul muawwal. Remember that. Wherever you see anna, it's going to be either fail, file, naibul file, khabar, or mubtada. But always remember, it's going to be mudaf ilayhi, and it can be majroor bil bi harf jar, stuff like that. It's always going to act like an ism. The sentence with starting with anna is going to act like an ism, and it's going to be al masdarul muawwal. Is this clear to all of you? Now, if I'm treating it as masdarul muawwal and treating this waw as harf atf, what is matuf alayhi for anna? Are we saying, Rajda, you are saying Allah, this one is matuf for that? Allah tajua is matuf alayhi, waw atf, and this is matuf. Everyone agrees with Adiba? Hai na? So this sounds right, and this sounds grammatically correct as well. You are going to be asked this question in your sessions. If you are teaching, always remember this. So this is a place where both inna and anna was allowed. Okay, Yeah, there are two masadir here. One was with an-nasiba lil mudari and one is with anna masdariya, right? So, but come back to this. A lot of people have a question about the kasra of this anna and inna. If it is beginning a sentence, if it is at the sadaratul kalam, what should you expect? For the beginning of the kalam, only and only inna, inna, inna. Okay? Only inna, like you are seeing here, inna laka. Okay? If it is in the middle of the kalam, if it is in the middle of the kalam and it seems connected to something, it is going to be, if there is a connection to something, it's going to be anna. Okay? So there are cases when both are allowed. If I make it inna, will it be okay to make it inna in this case? If it was inna, will it make sense? But what will be the ma'tuf for this inna then? Will it be still Allah tajua fiha wala ta'ara? Do you think if it was inna, if it was innaka la tazma'u fiha wala tadha, the ma'tuf alayhi, the matuf alayhi will be in that case inna laka, my dear sisters. Then it is not masdarul muawwal. Then it is going to be, its matuf alayhi is going to be sentence, right? It's not going to be masdarul muawwal because now it is no longer masdarul muawwal. Make sense? I will give you a chance to take that in and I will take a sip of water. Okay. So, Alhamdulillah, because this is going to come to your, to you many times. This information is going to haunt you. Let's just, yeah, and not in, yes, you are right. You are right. Yeah. So now when you see, وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّمَا نُمْلِي لَهُمْ خَيْرٌ لِأَنفُسِهِمْ. What do you think is happening in this verse of Surah Ali Imran? La yahsabanna, la nahiya, yahsabanna is going to be fail mudare, mabni al fatha, fi mahalli jazmin, littasalahu bin nunu tawkid, has nunu tawkid attached to it. Yahsaba is huwa yahsaba. I can expect an outside doer after it, and allazina kafaru, I'm making it an outside doer for yahsaba. Yahsabanna. Do you agree with my Arab so far? Allazina kafaru is, is going to be its outside doer. Then I go on to see annama numli lahum khairun. Anna came, and this is going to make al masdarul muawwal, and now this is masdar sadda musadda maf'ulay hasiba, right? Hasiba is one of the sisters of zanna wa akhawatuha, and you are going to have, sadda musadda maf'ulay hasiba here. When I look at innama, what is the i'rab for, I'm sorry, annama? What are the i'rab for annama? What's going to be the i'rab? And other than Faiza, I will, no, that's, that's a whole i'rab for the whole sentence. But what is the i'rab for annama? What am I going to call annama? Is it kafa wa makfufa or what? Huh? Everyone is saying okay. Okay, numli. What are the i'rab for numli? Fail mudare, marfu, bid-dammatul muqaddara alal ya, right? Wal fa'il nahnu, lahum jar wal majroor. What is khairun doing here? Is this, you know, what is khairun doing here? How I'm going to connect khairun in a jumla failure? Numli, I'm seeing a rafa ism. If I call this ma, kafa, zaida, then there's a problem. Can you have a doer after numli with the mir mustatir nahnu? Can nahnu have a doer? So think about annama again. Can it be harf nasb wa ismuha? Can it be ma mausula? And today is the day when everyone should go back to the session, the short series on that annama and innama cannot, don't always assume that it is ma kafa in annama and innama, right? So here it is not ma kafa. It is ma mausula, which is an ism. Ma kafa is a harf, but this is an ism. So ma is going to be, there are two sessions that you all have to review today, okay? That's your homework. So annama harf nasab wa ismuha ma mausula. When ma mausula, there is a silatul mausul. Numli lahum is going to be its silatul mausul. Khairun is going to be khabru anna. Khabru anna. لِأَنفُسِهِمْ is connected to khairun. Okay, it's better for themselves. Yeah, you can call matalik bil mahzuf sifa. That should work. Okay, this whole sadamu sadama fulai is now going to be considered to be maf'ul for yahsaba. The haraka of annama, keep that in mind. This is a maf'ul bihi. You are seeing it like that. When you look at your musaf, Usmani musaf, you are going to find, I think something is there after anfusihim, some marking is there. So after that is starting another sentence, innama numli lahum liyazdadu isma. So now, innama. Do you think it is connected to whatever is before, or is it starting a new sentence? Innama. It's a new sentence. So here, ma, here in this case is ma kafa. Innama kafa wa makfufa. Numli is fail mudare marfu bil fatatul muqaddara alal ya. And file is nahnu. Lahum jar wal majroor mutalik bil fail liyazdadu. لام is لام تعليل يزدادو is مصدر مؤول في محل جر بلام تعليل because لام تعليل has an مدمرة after it, right? So this is والفاعل باب الجماعة. إثما is going to be tamyiz, right? I can call it tamyiz so that they increase. In what sense? They increase in terms of sin. Okay, everyone got it? When you were seeing a beginning, you saw a hamza maksura, right? There is a kasra on your hamza. Inna. It is inna with a new sentence, with a new beginning. When it is in the middle of something, it is going to be anna. So, will you all remember this? Just real quick, I have these slides prepared for you. Whenever muadil inna. So, in the beginning of the sentence, what do you expect? Would you expect inna? If you have anna there, then it is going to be wrong. Anna cannot be in the beginning of the sentence. The sentence, this verse could not start from anna here. It cannot be anna here. It has to be inna here. I hope this is clear to all of you. Then when it comes to, kala, yakulu, and after it, you are going to see again, there will be inna. After qala and its derivatives, it is going to be inna. After ism mawsul, you are going to see inna. Ism mawsul, inna. What are you seeing after ism mawsul? You're seeing inna. After, as a jawabul qasam, what do we see in Quran? Mostly jawabul qasam. When it comes in in jawabul qasam, the sentence with noon mushaddada with harf nasiba nasikha mushabba bil fail, innal insana lafi khusr, right? Every time you see inna in, right? Mostly you see inna, but there is a possibility of anna too. But in that case, you are going to always remember that this is going to be part of something. It is just going to, anna is always going to act like masdarul muawwal. When it comes as, when there's a sentence that comes as a hal, it's going to begin with inna, not anna. Is this clear to all of you? Hal is mufrad ism, shubu jumla. Hal is mufrad ism, shubu jumla, and jumla. Hal, you don't expect masdarul muawwal as hal. of something. In the very beginning of our sessions, not in very beginning, I would say it was in a previous session, there was annaha tas'a. Remember? There was a verse that had annaha tas'a, and at that time, I just, we did it, and I mentioned it to one of the sisters that, don't, we are not going to, it was here, I think somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. No, this is going to be before it. Um, okay, so somewhere, when that snake turned into something, so it was, it was, no. But it is not going to be, if something is coming up as hal, it's not going to be masdar al-muawwal. Remember that. If you have to choose 66, thank you so much. Let's go there then. Yeah, and I think we had little bit of discussion there because that was very clear to us. Yes, barakallahu fiki. Yes, this was naibul file for yuhayyalu. I told you guys, don't treat it like it cannot be hal. Masdar muawwal cannot be hal. Okay, is this clear to all of you? It can be mufrad ism, it can be shubu jumla, it can be jumla, but don't label it as hal. It's going to be incorrect if you do so. So basically, if you have a jumla that is beginning, that is coming up as haliya jumla, you will see that after vawul hal, you are going to see inna. Okay, you are going to see inna. If you are going to have a sentence that is coming up as a sifa of someone, you are going to see inna there as well. For example, qabaltu shaykhan innahu yudarrisu tullab. So I met a shaykh, indeed he teaches the students. Make sense? That when there is a sentence which is coming up as a sifa of an ism, remember, inna is going to come. Masdarul muawwal is not going to be the sifa, okay? It's not going to come up as a, here you will have to have inna. So if you have a khabar for a proper name, for a proper noun, then what are you going to see? You are going to see that the jumlatul ismiya, that is a khabar for a proper noun, it is beginning with inna. Okay? Another case, a few cases where you are expecting to see inna is when it is after is, when it comes after haisu, when it is after hatta ibtidaiya, and after hatta is ibtidaiya is that hatta which is not it's a type of hatta that starts a new sentence, a new topic. Okay, it is different from hatta that you see before mudari mansoob. It is different from hatta after which you are seeing an ism majroor. This hatta ibtidaiya in Quran, basically it is seen before fail madin, and you are going to see it before iza. Usually, hatta iza, that hatta is hatta ibtidaiya. Remember, if your sentence has lamul muzahlaka, remember, if your sentence has lamul muzahlaka in it, anna has to be changed into inna. Anna and lamul muzahlaka cannot be together. It has to be inna. After alima, what do you expect to see as in your sentence? What are you going to see? What was your expectation? You see, anna, right? We just recently learned about zanna wa akhwatuha, and alima is among those. But since this sentence has lamul muzahlaka on the khabar, this jumlatul ismiya has lamul muzahlaka on its khabar, anna cannot come. Anna and lam cannot coexist. Will you remember this? Anna and lam cannot coexist. Remember that. Then, if you have ala or ama as istiftahya in those sentences, also you are going to see inna, and you are not going to see anna. And again, ama, you are going to see this, these words are not, you're not going to commonly come across, so you can skip this point. And then when you look at muadeo anna, you have seen it as file, right? You have seen it as file so many times. You have seen it as naibul file. You have seen it as mafulun bihi. You have seen it as muktada, right? But do you notice here, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنَّكَ تَرَى الْأَرْضَ خَاشِيَةٌ. Have you noticed that this anna is not in the beginning, is not in the beginning. There is a jar wal majroor that has been made muqaddam. Okay, every time when it is mubtada, mostly you are going to see it muakhar after, jar wal majroor. Then you see anna after law and lawla. You are going to see it as majroor for harjar. You are going to see it as mudaf ilayhi. Where are you see anna as mudaf ilayhi? What is the mudaf for annakum tantiqun? What do you think? Oh, I'm so sorry. The last thing. Okay, this is the last point that I'm going to tell you. If I say that in this sentence, this anna is mudaf ilayhi and it is majroor bil idafa, what is the mudaf for? But who is the mudaf for this annakum tantikun? Because this is going to be the whole masdar muawwal. Annakum kum is going to be ismu anna, tantikun is going to be khabru anna. Is it ma or is it mithla? Think about it again. How can ma be mudaf? How can ma be mudaf when misla is light? No alif lam. Its mudaf is misla. Ma is harf zaida. Ghair kafa. Okay? This is harf zaida ghair kafa and misla is mudaf. Okay? Will you remember this? When you look at, and when I ask you to next time, what is the mudaf? Ma, no, so ma is harf zaida. Cannot be jar. Cannot be jar. Maul Mosula itself can be made majroor because of something that is coming before it, but like lil lazina is al lazina is majroor because of li. Lima, you have seen musaddiqal lima, but have you ever seen Maul Mosula as mudaf? Can you ever expect it to be mudaf? No, you're not expecting it. You cannot. Okay, misla is mudaf, ma is zaida ghair kafa. So now, since we already have, the session time is, I've taken more time. I'm so sorry for that. Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear sisters. I hope you get a chance to review whatever we have covered in this session and whatever we have covered in our past sessions. There's a few gems that, about Aliful Faraka and Innama and Annama, and inshallah that's going to be super helpful for you all, inshallah. Yeah, take care. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome.